All right. Today we're going to cover the cover rules and the nuance to it. So cover is 1d6. We're calling these buildings here medium. Feel free to call them what you want according to what you as players agree to. For this simulation, we're calling this one medium. So right now, this hunter cannot see that Jaeger. It doesn't have line of sight to him no matter what, because everything goes through that building. But it does have him on sensors. The sensors go out to 18 inches. Let's double check that. Yep, he's definitely in 18 inches. So he can fire indirectly on him. And the Brawler Jaeger would have 2 dice plus 1 for the cover. And of course, the Hunter Gunner, since it's shooting indirectly, it would have 2 dice minus 1 for the indirect attack. So it'd be like 1 versus 3. So if this Hunter Gunner with its medium autocannon comes out a little bit to the side here, now it can get line of sight on the Jaeger. And of course, one common question is, well, can the Jaeger see the hunter? Well, yes. As long as the hunter can see the Jaeger, then the Jaeger can see the hunter. It just works that way. Now, who has partial cover, who does not? Well, the hunter can see all of the Jaeger. The Jaeger, on the other hand, can't quite see the lateral aspect of that base, but let's move him over just to make it more convincing. So if I look at the little edge or the outer edge of this Jaeger and I measure from here, I can't quite get all the way over without hitting that building edge. So technically, the hunter is in cover. And the hunter has the Jaeger out in the open, the Jaeger has no cover. And so this all just works by regular geometry. It's in the rules, but it's kind of a hidden nuance. So, but of course, once you look at it, you realize, oh, okay, got it. There are situations where, because of the geometry of everything, the hunter will see all of the Jaeger, but the Jaeger doesn't quite see all of the hunter. And I could even move him in even closer to really emphasize that. There we go. Bing, now it's impossible because this is basically the farthest line of sight comes over for the Jaeger. So it doesn't get the whole hunter in its line of sight. It only gets part of the hunter. So it's partial. Meanwhile, the hunter can easily see all of the Jaeger. Let's do one other thing. Let's say we've got friendlies in the mix. It actually kind of works the same way. If this hunter wants to fire on the Jaeger, it can find somewhere on its base, or its silhouette really, to get line of sight on that Jaeger. But it can't get the Jaeger's whole base. So the Jaeger basically gets plus 1d6 for cover from this guy's friendly mech. That again, this just works naturally. There's no special rule that says, oh, it's a harder shot when your friendlies are there. It's automatically a harder shot because they have cover. Let's say it's base-to-base contact. Can't quite do that on this program because things fall down, but we'll call this base-to-base contact because that's the closest we can get. Now, in this situation, that hunter is just out of the way to where, or the friendly hunter is just out of the way, so we have line of sight on the entire base. If this hunter were to move kind of like this, again, it goes back to now that Jaeger gets cover for having that hunter between the other hunter and itself. So it's obscuring the base in some way because I can't quite get all the way over, so that Jaeger's gaining partial cover. And then if we said, okay, it's behind him and he's doing something like this, if the hunter wants to shoot at the Jaeger, it has good line of sight. It can pick him up just fine. So the Jaeger does not get cover bonus for being in close contact to a friendly. Also, the friendly is behind, so it makes the shot easier, of course, for the hunter. And that's kind of it. I'll cover one other thing. When we're dealing with terrain, we're constantly wondering, is the terrain light, medium, or heavy? So far, we've just used these buildings. We're calling them medium. Let's go to this rock. This rock we're calling heavy. So if that Jaeger is on the other side of that rock, well, the hunter can't even see it on the radar or anything, so it can't even really shoot at it. Um, but if it could get to a position, let's say it gets to about here. This is medium, this is heavy. So the hunter could not quite pick up, we'll say, yeah, let's just say he can't quite get the Jaeger on the sensors, but he can get this point on the ground next to the Jaeger on the sensors. So he could fire here, indirectly, of course, because he's got to go over the building and over the rock. And then this Jaeger would become a secondary target. Now, in each instance, no matter what, if there's some type of shot that can be fired on this Brawler Jaeger, it's going to have the cover bonus of plus 1d6, whether it's heavy, medium, or if there was a light cover building on this terrain, on this table, then it would be light. But either way, it gets the 1d6, whether it's partial cover, full cover, light cover, medium cover, or heavy cover. The only thing that changes is the light cover, you can shoot through it, and the sensors will go through it. Medium cover, you can't shoot through it, but the sensors will go through it, so you can shoot indirectly at target points. And then, of course, heavy cover, you can't shoot through it, and the sensors don't go through it.